I will talk with the Prime Minister briefly, about 15 minutes, and then we'll open the floor to questions from those in the audience here at the Atlantic Council. My first question you've actually kind of answered. I was going to ask you, why have you moved so strongly and boldly towards peace with Azerbaijan? I want to ask you another question along with it. I think you've laid out compelling reasons for your course on peace, but has this been easy for you to persuade the people of Armenia to move in this direction?
You know, obviously, it isn't possible to have real and striving independence, prosperity, and security without peace. It isn't possible just. Because obviously in Armenia, people are discussing political forces, how it is possible, and what is the most reliable tool for security of our country and our people. And it is really very urgent and very important question to answer. And our answer is that only reliable tool for security is peace. Only reliable tool for prosperity is peace. Even for democracy, peace is crucial because we can't have democracy in the environment of war. So I think I can say, due to historic factors, and people in Armenia aren't so optimistic with peace agenda. But from the other side, if you would ask me whether I'm optimistic or pessimistic on that, I would say that, I don't think that we should be optimistic or realistic. We need to be active, we need to be creative, and continuously work on that agenda. Because nobody will guarantee that the process will be successful. Only guarantee for that, it is persistent work, and to be creative, to be active, not to give up, and continuously work on creating what you need. And obviously, which is very important, the potential beneficiaries of peace, not only people living in Armenia, all the region and even international community will benefit from that peace. So we perceive this process as our investment into the global peace, because how global peace and stability can be created if as much shareholders of international affairs will invest on that, will work on that. And we perceive this process like that. It is kind of a duty, our duty, not only in front of our citizens, in front of our region, but it is our duty in front of international community for international stability and peace. So that's why we are working on that, and our hope that this process, international community will perceive as such. And from the other side, we hope to have support of our international partners and encouragement to continue this path. And that's why we are trying to explain all the nuances of our intentions and processes to our international partners.
Thank you. You mentioned that in the negotiations with Azerbaijan, 15 of the 17 articles of a peace treaty have been agreed, 2 have not. To be frank but still diplomatic, I think the negotiations would be farther along if the authorities in Baku were as interested in a win-win peace as your government has been. And hopefully that will happen. So tell us about the two articles that have yet to be agreed and the prospects for reaching agreement on them.
One of those articles about the deployment of the third-party forces alongside the border between Armenia and Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan proposes to have a provision or ban of deployment of third-party forces alongside the border, meaning transparently the European Civilian Monitoring Mission. We take note of that desire of Azerbaijan, and we made our proposal to have that provision for the delimited sectors of our border. So if we delimited a sector of border, that would mean that on that sectors must not be presence of any third-party forces. So we presented our proposal in a written way, and we are waiting for reaction from Azerbaijan. Another article about the complaints against each other in legal institutions. And the idea is to call back all those complaints. In general, we are okay with that idea as well. But what is our proposal? Not only to call back all those complaints, but not to raise all those issues in bilateral relations as well. Otherwise, the strange situation could be created when, for example, some topic is called back from international institutions, but one of the sides is trying to put that topic on the table during bilateral relations, and one of the sides could use one of that topics for escalation. And in that case, it won't be possible to transfer that topic into international institutions, and we are okay with that as well. So our proposal is to end further discussions on the conflicting topics and to open a new era in bilateral relations, starting from new and empty and clear page. And if you spot it, I hope, that means that all the important issues in the draft of peace agreement is already agreed. So there was very deep and very sensitive topics in that draft, but all those topics are agreed already. For example, Armenia and Azerbaijan agreed to recognize each other's territorial integrity, meaning the Soviet time territories of the Soviet Azerbaijan and Soviet Armenia. We agreed to have provision on peace draft that Armenia and Azerbaijan have no territorial claims against each other, and we must not raise such claims in the future. So it is actually a cornerstone for the future peace, and everything about that is agreed. So why I'm saying that? Because it makes obvious that now the peace is more than reachable, and now only political will is needed to finalize this work on peace draft and to sign it and to have sustainable peace.